Good day everyone. In today's class we want to continue with our series on responsive design using Bootstrap. So in the previous session we've actually set up the Bootstrap, then we've also added the navigation, the template for the navigation menu from Bootstrap. So actually this is where we stopped the last class. Then today we want to actually create something that looks like this, okay? The carousel part of our hero section of our page, then something that is a bit similar to this. So I've actually downloaded the image that I actually need, so I have them here. So I'm going to use the image for car websites, for car radar, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so if you want to get a real free image, you can actually go to either free pick. You can go to free pick, or you use Unsplash. You can go to Unsplash to get free images. Okay, so let's just dive in now. Okay, so I have to go to Bootstrap documentation. So I've also opened the Bootstrap documentation. So you can just search for get Bootstrap, then you click on documentation. That takes you to this page. Then you scroll down to the component section. So you will see where we have the carousel, or you search for carousel from this part here. Okay, either ways it takes you to this particular section now. So you scroll down to the place where we have to see the slide, the caption, and also the indicator. So this is the one I actually want to use. So I'm going to copy this HTML and CSS templates. I'll copy it and take it to my project folder. So this is my project folder. So I'm putting it after the navigation here. So I'll paste it here. So if I should open it up, or just I've opened it up already, so let me just use this is the preview now, so there's nothing there because we need to add the image ourselves. So if you open the image tag here, you can add your image in there in the source attributes. So my image, like I said, is inside the images folder. Then I'm going to select the car image that I've downloaded. You can give it the alternative text. Let's say car image one, or tell how you want to put in there, just for SEO. Then I'll do the same thing for the other images for each of the carousel item. So here I'm going to select pick the second car image, then the third carousel item. I'm going to add that to it, so I'll pick the third one. So if I should go back to the page, this is what we have currently now. Okay, so you discover that we are not seeing the indicator, the previous and the bottom indicator here, because the image that I use actually has a white background. So I have to customize so that you can see the content that we have here. The content here, this is the content now. Okay, so for that to be visible, I have to add some custom CSS to this. So let me start with the carousel item. So for the carousel item, I'm going to add a class called let me say slide. Okay, so that's the name of the class. I'll add it to each of the carousel item. Okay, so then I'll go to my CSS file. I've created a CSS file. I put it inside this CSS folder in my project folder here. So I'm going to start with the slide, then the image that is inside the slide. Okay, so I'm going to give it a height, just to control the height of the image, because as you can see here, the image is the height of the image is too wide, or sorry, long rather. So I have to correct that. So I'll set the height to something like let's say 90 VH, or you can set it to your desired height. Okay, so it's this way. So I'm going to, it's somehow the image is shrink. So I'm going to correct that. I'm going to use something called object fit, so that it fits the container. you see it's now well positioned. So the next thing I also want to do is for this to create a clear contrast between the text and also the background image that we see. Okay, because the background is white, so the text is also white. So to achieve that, I'm going to use this slide that I created earlier on for that class. So I'm going to use the background property to add a linear gradient on it. So I'm going to start with the black. Okay, then put this black too. So this first one should be black. Okay. Then this one should be, the spelling is okay. So now if you check it out, this is what I have here now. Okay, if you like it this way, okay, but what I'm going to do is that I want to reduce the opacity of the background. Okay, then I also want to ensure that the text moves to the either the center, or I just want to adjust the text so that it moves up a little. Then I want to add a custom a button, city button to it. So in that case, what I can do here is that I can, if you want to reduce the opacity, you can reduce the opacity this way, at least just to. So if you check it now, I'll come back to do. Okay, see I have, so I can still like reduce this one further, the first one now, so I can reduce this further. So because it's a linear gradient, it's from top to bottom. Okay, and if you actually want to control it, you want to have something like an angle, maybe from left to right or whatever, so you can add, let's say 2 to right, so then okay, you can see now, okay, it starts from right to left now. So depending on the way, you can also, you have also to left. So you can just you can customize it the way you actually want, depending on your goal, okay, of your project. So, but I'm going to just leave it. Then you can also set the angle like 135 or degrees. Okay, so if that is the way you want, you can set it this way. Okay, so at least whatever that gives you, depending on the need of your project, so you can just set it as you please. Okay, so I'm going to, like I said, I want to move this text up a little. To achieve that, I'm going to use some custom CSS, sorry, not custom CSS, Bootstrap CSS to achieve that. So on the caption now, this is where we are right now. So now I want to see, you can set the top to, let's say 0. Okay, that moves everything to the from 0 here. So I want to do for this. So if you check it out now, you see the text has moved to the top, but here I actually want to put this position at the center here. So instead of top 0, I'm going to change this one to 50. Okay, just using absolute positioning this time around here now. Okay, so if you check it out, I think, okay, it has moved to the center here now. Okay, like I said I wanted to add a call to action button. So to achieve that, after the p tag, I'm going to create this and set it to a dummy link. I'll say, let's say for instance explore. Then I'm going to put another button. Hold that now. So if you check it out, Right. It's not showing because okay, this it I have it because I've not added to the other slides. So I'm going to add it on other slide. So for this, sorry, for this last one should be on the caption, the carousel caption block div. That's what should be added. This one here, please. Okay. So I'm going to copy for the button here. You can actually put it in a div so that it's easier to style later. I'll call the name of CTA now, so I'll put it in here. So that the video doesn't get too length, I will continue from the next session.